Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're gonna be live. Hey, we about to be live. Oh my goodness. I need to be quiet. This is gonna be live. Oh my goodness. Yo, Quest, we're gonna be live. I know you're muted, but I just can't help it. I gotta say it. We're gonna be live. In 18, 17, 16, 17, 13. Hey. All right, I'm quiet on this set. I am quiet on this set. Peace, y'all. It's your man Dave with my brother Quest, the man bringing you all things marriage, paying you huge dividends on your investment in time with us. We're talking about love, sex, having children, money, spirituality, life, communication, and anything else to help you thrive and win in your relationships. And guess what? This is grown folks' business. So get ready to make grown-up decisions. You know why? Because marriage ain't for suckers. That's the name of the program. Marriage ain't for suckers. All right, let's get into it. Hey, yo, Quest, it's time to give the people something, man. What we talking about today?
What up, what up, what up? You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Quest. Welcome to another edition of the Marriage Ain't for Suckers podcast. And I'm joined by my co-host. You know what I'm saying? My man, my man, L. David Harris.
Oh, you talking about me? Yo.
I'm talking about you.
Yo, get on the mic.
And MC.
Class is in the session.
Yeah, I love it, man.
What up?
I love it, man. Talk to me, D. Talk to me, D.
Yo, it's a good day, man. It's a good day.
Any day that I got breath in my lungs is a good day.
All right.
How about that? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
they
saying?
like how Jamaicans say, any day above ground.
Yeah.
Bed up on top of my graves.
You see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look out of the eye where God give me. Oh, you
That's it. Let's go. That's it. That is it. Now that's it.
Yeah. As you can see, things is a little bit different today. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit.
was
I see you
belly
somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm downstairs. You know what I'm saying? I just
Downstairs.
want to change up things a little bit. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'm glad you have some stairs to be downer.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The weather is changing here in the Charlotte area. You know what I'm saying? Today, the weather's been getting a little warmer. Yesterday, it was, I think, 84. Today, I think it's going to be about 87 or 86. I think somewhere in there. Either way, it's still
the weather's
good.
changing. Okay, great.
You know what I'm saying? We heading around to that spring, hopefully to that summer. You know what I'm saying? Won't he do it?
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess we are too.
Yeah, come on. You know, well, y'all, I don't know if y'all ever get, I don't know if it gets, I know, let me not say I don't know. I know that it never gets cold.
At least not where I live, right?
Tony used to have a song that says, "It never rains in Southern California." One thing
I'm not paying.
Sure, it never reach a 50, 60, or even, I would dare to say, a 70 degrees.
Not where I live, but yeah, there's plenty places in Jamaica. You can see your breath.
You have to go way up, way up.
Yes.
Way up.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But
all right, you caught me. You caught me.
It never get cold on the rock.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there. It never gets cold on the rock.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Shouts out to everybody, man, who is listening. We always want to shout y'all out, man. Y'all are the reasons why we continue to do what we do in terms of this podcast. We hold marriage and the institution of love and marriage with high esteem, just because God holds it with high esteem. You feel me? And so we want to thank y'all for supporting by listening. Like for real, there's a number of things that you can do in order to support. Please go by Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. Please go by marriageaintforsuckers.com. You know what I'm saying? Leave us your thoughts. Shouts out to Simon Phillip, who is listening in St. Lucia. big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. You feel me? Shouts out to him. But I want to thank so many of you for supporting us as we continue to do this, and we are moving stretch to a new plateau. We have a number of different things that we're working on. David and I are currently working, and you've heard us talk about this new 12-week. Is that right? 12.
Yes, sir.
For marriages, man, and we want to move y'all from shaky to good, from good to good, but ultimately to phenomenal, and that takes work. Ain't nobody handing that out. You can't go to Tractor Supply, you can't go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target. You can't go to none of those places and buy phenomenal, right? You got to work for that. Ain't nobody, you can't even buy it. You have to work for it.
True.
So do me a favor, stop by the podcast, leave us a review, visit us at www.marriageaintforsuckers.com. And that's SuckaZ, S-U-K.
Don't say that.
SuckaZ, right? .com.
Z.
Also, the book is also out, Quest for Faith, The Journey to Experience the Phenomenal Marriage That You Deserve.
Yes.
Yeah, man, it deals with 4 different areas: foundation, love, lifestyle, and legacy. So if you want to cop a copy, you know what I'm saying? Cop a copy, right? Who used to say that? Copy.
You got me, bro. You got me.
Oh, the boy from Brand Nubian.
Oh, word. Okay.
I'll tell you his name in a minute. I'll remember in a minute. But yeah, stop by the site, pick up a copy, and my prayers that you'll be blessed by the information therein.
No question.
What's popping on the island, D?
Yeah, well, right now, listen, there are people. I don't know if you all have ever heard of Seventh-day Adventists, but it's a large community of believers that are worldwide. And I'm mentioning it this time because the youth who are a part of a uniformed group called Pathfinders.
Yes,
bruh, from Inter-America, not just Inter-America, but that's where it's supposed to be. I see people from the North American division as well, but from Inter-America, listen, there are 12,000 people here in Trelawney, man.
Wow.
In Trelawney Parish that are Pathfinders right now, from Tuesday gone straight through to Sunday. Even my sister's here. She's not even from Inter-America.
Unbelievable.
And Usain looked like the Honorable Dr. Usain Bolt looked like he was a Pathfinder when he was a young boy. So his mommy got him to come through yesterday. So he blessed the youths yesterday to, show up and say what's up.
So I want to share with you, D, that your boy was not only a Pathfinder, but he was also a master guide. I just want to.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. I still got my uniform upstairs.
Bro, I was terrible. You know what happened to me, man?
Yeah.
I know you're a city dude too, but I didn't have the discipline. So I walked to church.
Yeah.
I walked to church and I lasted for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should even tell this joke. I shouldn't. So okay, I'm gonna tell the joke, but it wasn't supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
So Craig, my cousin-in-law, Craig.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So we were on the line, and who was it? I can see him right now, but was one of the elders, and he was Beckles. It was Beckles, and Beckles called for Jews.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be D-U-E-S. And being young guys, of course, Craig, when Beckles called for Jews, he said, "Jews are in Israel, sir." And I'm like, bro, you're going to disrespect the man accent like that? Are you serious?
Yeah.
So anyway, I lasted 2 weeks. I didn't have the discipline. Of course, Craig got in trouble for that because you can't disrespect the dude.
It's hilarious. Like for real, the things that they drilled in our head. I shouldn't even say it's hilarious. It's a blessing more than
it's a blessing. Yes.
Because we would repeat those things over and over again, and they have really shaped certain areas of my life because of the stuff. So the aim, motto, and pledge. But I was on the prayer line with the fellas this morning, and a gentleman, shouts out to Corshawn Brayboy, man, who paid me a compliment. He was like, "Quest, even though you have become
my bad,
you know what I'm saying? I got your back."
It was on an accident.
even though he said, Quest, you have, he said it's different. You're a unique kind of person because you've gotten to a particular place in space in terms of the work that you do, but you have not necessarily changed who you are. And I
Mm-hmm.
would like to God be the glory. You know what I'm saying? And so we some way somehow got on the conversation of pathfindering, and the law stuck out to me. And you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to everybody who may be listening, but I remember the law is for me to keep the morning watch, to do my honest part, to care for my body, to keep a level eye, to be courteous and obedient, to walk softly in the sanctuary, to keep a song in
Wow.
my heart, and to go on God's errands.
Wow. I'm terrible, man. I'm just.
It's funny though, D, because after all of that, like for real, talk about things that,
Live.
hearing.
We are still live. There he is. Something went wrong. Keep
Oh,
talking. There we go.
Oh, yeah. All of the things that they deposited into our spirit that stuck, you can find somewhere in that law to apply to different areas of life. And the part that I think that stuck with me is to go on God's errands. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And when you think of errands, you think about the little things that you got to do throughout the day that, although they may be small in an act, they are essential to the peace that you have in terms of your life. Like remembering to send a mail off, and you know what I'm saying, or remembering to go by the supermarket and pick up a particular thing, right? And so go on God's errands. When I think of that, caring for people is a part of that errand. Something so small as saying good morning or just checking in with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But it has major impact into the peace of not only your life, but the peace of other people's life as well. To text my wife and say, hey, I'm thinking about you today.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? To say that I love you. Have I told you that I loved you this week?
Ooh.
No. She likes to always say,
I just called to say,
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things, D. Those are the things right there. So shouts out to Korshawn. And you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the Pathfinders, and big up to you saying the Bolt. You know what I'm saying?
12,000 people, bro.
12 grand.
In Trelawney. That's amazing. Coming from all over Inter-America, and a few, probably, maybe under 1,000. I don't know for sure, but coming in from North America as well. So it's a big deal. Jamaica seeing how we get down.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shouts out to them, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I love it, man. Anything else major going on the island? Like, anytime you spending time in JA, man, and I'm holding it on the low. Just keep. Hopefully, me and D
will speak on it.
Record an episode. D, let me tell you something right now.
Yes, sir.
If I get the okay, I'm packing up the Roadcaster. I'm packing up cameras, and we gonna shoot it together at the Palladium. You know what I'm saying? Or wherever we decide to stay.
Yeah.
Record an episode while we in JA. So, yeah.
I hear you talking, man. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's jump off in there, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I was in an accountability group, right? Like one of those that it's big. Like people who are being held accountable in this group they must succeed, because it's one of those kind of accountability groups, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the brothers was really just reaching out and saying, we know that we're supposed to be also pouring in regarding marriages and relationships.
Absolutely.
And it clicked in my mind that there are people yearning, and I think that's a good word, like people yearning for successful and even phenomenal marriages and relationships that may lead to marriage.
Absolutely.
And that's a big deal. Like, you're like, well, what's the subject today? Well, the subject is that marriage is so important, and healthy relationships, and I'm going to call them healthy romantic relationships in particular, are so pivotal in society that adult, intelligent, educated people whose lives are on an upward pathway, even those folks, whatever you think of that, what I just described, are like, we need more of this. We need more community surrounding marriages. We need more input and building blocks surrounding marriage and successful relationships. And I'm like, to that, all I can do is just applaud, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is such though, D? Like for real? Because there are let's be honest. Will you agree with me when I say marriage is under attack?
Oh, it's always been. Look, can I just pause? Will you forget what you're saying if I interrupt you right here?
No.
Listen, from Adam and Eve's day, it was under attack.
Yep.
So Eve does something wrong, Adam does something wrong. Now they're both in the wrong spiritually, and their relationship is in breach. And as soon as God comes down to see what's going on with their relationship with him, he calls to Adam, where are you? Help Adam understand his position. And Adam immediately throws his wife under the bus, bro. The woman that you gave me, she's the one that caused me to do the evil. So from that day forward, it has been a mess where people choose for marriage to be a mess.
That's crazy. Imagine God throwing us under the bus.
No, I can't see that.
So immediately Adam, by doing that, you know what I'm saying? Not only did he throw her under the bus, but he sabotaged himself in terms of prophet, priest, king, and provider.
Oh, boy.
He sabotaged himself.
He threw himself under the bus. You just yourself.
By throwing her, he threw himself under the bus. Right? Because the marriage relationship is very much a mirror of God's relationship with us. We've said it 1,000,001 times.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So not to go too far off into that, but with marriage being under attack, right? There are some who don't value it and there are some who value it, right? And so you said it, D, they're requiring more information, more. Why do you think that is?
Because I think people have felt the pain, whether in their own relationships or observing others. They have felt the pain of disrupted marriage. They have seen where abuse and violence happens. They have seen where children suffer from not really knowing who they are, where they're going, because something's not right between mommy and daddy. Right. Yep. They've experienced what happens at work when a brother who's supposed to be, very productive and positive at work is now taking out his frustrations from not having any control over what's happening in his household. He's taking it off on coworkers, and God forbid he's a manager or more than his so-called subordinates. And the same thing with women who are not feeling necessarily valued by the husbands that vowed to love them until Jesus comes or throughout eternity. And now at work, she's having to listen to, coworkers, people who are under her charge or people she answers to. And she's hearing all that noise. And then when she gets home, there's no reprieve because the noise follows her there and worse. You see?
And so it behooves us to continue. This is the reason why we do what we do, D, because there's not a lot of places and spaces where people are upholding the banner of marriage.
True indeed.
I know why I do it. I've suffered divorce already. I've suffered what it looks like when you make bad decisions. I've suffered when you are not unique, separate, and whole. I've suffered the consequences of those things.
Yeah.
And it put me in a position where I had to do my homework and I had to get better. I even questioned whether or not I was ever going to do marriage again. And as you know, I did it again. And here we are walking into the 12th year, and blissfully so. And when I say blissfully so, D, I'm not saying that we don't have difficulties and challenges. I am saying that, like for real, it was the information that I decided to digest once I decided to do this again. It was the information that I made a decision to, which further lets me know that if you have not invested in some way, shape, or form into your marriage, okay, think about the last time you went on a vacation. How much you spent. Think about the last time you went to a concert, how much you spent to get the tickets. Think about the last time you went to get hair, nails done, haircut, how much you spent, right? Over the last year, right? And I challenge you, I implore you, I encourage you to take whatever that same amount is and invest it in your marriage, attending a retreat, a seminar, a workshop, buy a book, go to a conference, whatever you do. And when I say vacation, I'm not just talking about vacation where you and your spouse get away. I am, but I'm not, because you do need to take those where you know what I'm saying, where you just go enjoy each other. But I am also saying that there are a number of us. Shouts out to Jerome Reynolds, one of my homies from the Shy. He said, yes, sir. Take that same amount of money and invest it back into your relationship, and get the information. Why? Because information applied changes situations.
Yeah. Simone and I both. That's my wife, as we say in Jamaica, my one good wife.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yo, we've been married coming up on 22 years, man. Thankfully, and happily married. Full stop. Both of us almost got married to other people. Me, 5 years ago. She, longer ago. But we didn't.
I'm sorry. I just need you to back up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Because you just speeded past it. How many years?
We coming up on 22 years, man. August coming.
Yo, attention.
Yo, that's one of the things that I am most excited about in life. Because we didn't have I'll put it this way. I didn't have the building blocks for a successful marriage. No kind of way you want to look at it. Whether internal, hereditary, it didn't matter. What I saw, what I didn't see. And so for us to be in a position where this is our testimony, I am so thankful. It's ridiculous. So we almost got married to others. Me, 24, 5-ish years. She, longer ago. And I'll just speak on my situation. When I didn't get married, and to someone wonderful, I would put it like that. So no shade, but it wasn't right for us to be married. Full stop. When I say right, I don't mean morally. It just wasn't right from a relational perspective. We needed to move on, so we did. All right. So I told my mom, I don't know if I'm gonna get married. Not because I was sour on it, but I just couldn't figure out, like, I've put this investment in. How in the world do I go from here, the pinnacle? We're planning the honeymoon. That's where we reach. Right? And I'm like, well, how do I get to no longer getting married, to finding someone, to building a general relationship, to romance, to, wow, this could be, a marriage one day. Ask the question and then we get married. I was just like, I can't bother. It's too much. I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And what God did, he presented my friend to me. So we fast forwarded. We skipped a lot of the stuff that I was concerned about because I said I can't bother. He was like, well, you got a good friend over there.
A good friend.
Already. 11 years, good friend.
I'm sorry. Y'all were friends for 11 years before you got married for the 22?
Yes, sir. So when I came to visit, I went to DC to visit.
Are you going to forget this thought, D?
No.
I need everybody to just stop for a moment and understand, especially for my singles who may be listening to this this podcast. You may be listening to this program. I want you to do me a favor. Please solidify in your mind, outside of being unique, separate, and whole, please develop friendship. Please develop friendship before 11 years. You know what I'm saying, Jerome? Jerome said that's deep. You know what I'm saying? 11 years of friendship before you decided that let's do life together.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, D, I just wanted to just highlight real quick. I just want to put a pin in that right there and just post it up on the board. Please develop friendship before you decide to do, come on. Jay said his wife is his best friend. Come on, D, finish.
Yeah, so we were such good friends. And by the way, she had the one gentleman that she was going to be married to and didn't. And then in my mind, this is how I see it, two more fairly serious relationships. There were some others, but those were the two. So the one she almost married, and then the two other brothers that were fairly serious relationships. So we close. We were so close that she tried to give me a cousin of hers in a relationship in 1991 or 2.
D, stop for a moment. Stop for a moment. This is heavy. This is really heavy. You know why this is heavy? Because sometimes when we have friendships of the opposite sex and we're single, like for real, and you know that something can happen, but you are already in relationship with somebody else, you're not introducing them to nobody else in hopes that if this don't work out, I can move in that direction. Can I just be real? Can I speak 100 for a moment? But your relationship with her was so dope. And she loved you so much as a friend.
She's my homie, bro.
She understood who you were as a dude. And somebody needs to be in relationship with this guy. This is an awesome catch. And I would rather it be a friend or a family. So I'm going to go ahead and connect you or try to connect you with a cousin. Yo, if that's not deep, I don't know what is, but it speaks to the authenticity, the genuineness, and not just of who she is as an individual, but her love for you as a friend.
Yeah, bro. It was amazing. And so, all those years later,
wow,
there was a long story, but apparently she had a thing for me I didn't know. And let me tell you, this is a good part of this story. We actually argue about some stuff. It's not a real argument. It's a joke argument about the beginnings of our relationship. But this kind, the romantic relationship. But I remember, though, 2 years after I didn't get married, Simone and I, now my friend that I'm looking at like, yo, she kind of hot. Yo, Simone kind of hot. And I didn't go out with nobody, bro. For the 2 years, I nestled myself between two married couples who were just a touch older than me. And I stayed away from women for 2 years. I'm not saying I had to, but I did.
So do the knowledge, D, because I want to ask this question to anybody that may be listening or who will watch this on the rebroadcast, right? How many of you have a friendship where you understand like, yo, something could happen between us, but you're teeter-tottering on whether friendship, romantic friendship, romantic relationship. How many of you love your friend enough that you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you? Happy in relationship with someone else. Because like for real, when our minds go to those places, D, we start entertaining all the pleasantries and all of this other stuff. How many of us love our friends enough, or the person that you have a friendship with? I'm not talking about that something could potentially happen with. You understand that they are a good individual. You understand that they got integrity and character. You love all the attributes of this individual, and you love them enough to say, I want you to be with somebody, even if it's not with me.
Yeah. So now just 23 years ago, not 30 years ago, but 23 years ago, we go out because I saw her. Get this. I want you to hear the timeline. June, an elder friendship couple of mine asked me to go to a wedding. I didn't want to go to no wedding, but I went to the wedding.
Right.
At the reception, Simone and I see each other. And I see something like my brain turned on. I was like, yo, my homegirl is dope. I hadn't seen her in a couple years.
Right.
All right. So boom, I'm there. That's June. We re-exchanged numbers. And in my brain, she hot. Apparently she thought I was too. Somebody that does not know me, that's her friend, who met between the time that she and I were kind of disconnected. She told Simone that day, that's going to be your husband. I have not seen Simone for a couple years at that time. So boom, June. So we went out the next week. In the vehicle, as we are separating, she says, what's your ideal woman? But remember, that's my homegirl. I didn't think nothing, even though I thought she was hot at the time.
She's asking you this question?
She asked me that. And my homeboy said, you are so dumb, bro. But that's my girl, bro. We talking about 11 years. It didn't even connect.
And it's funny for us from that, Jerome said this is a movie or a book.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, I was saying from that perspective, just from a man's perspective, when we have a good friendship, especially when it's with a female, an authentic friendship, sometimes if there's any decency about you, you don't want to ruin the friendship because it's so dope. Even if they, go ahead, D. Go ahead.
And by that time I was a believer. The years before I wasn't. So I probably would have, seen it a different way, but I wasn't really thinking it's my homegirl. We just, So boom, she says, what's your ideal woman? I described this woman, now deceased, who was 60 at the time, because I recognized how incredible this woman was and who her husband was. Her husband was very powerful. I saw myself needing the kind of incredible woman that this old woman, in my mind, I'm 20 something. This woman is 60. Yeah. I was like her, her? I called her name, and then she told me after the fact, she's like, you killed my dreams immediately when you said that. Right? And then my homeboy later on, he was like, you said that? I was like, yeah. He was like, bro, your homegirl like you. You just destroyed her. And he happened to be right. So boom, the other day, I'm talking about this week, Thursday, it's this week, if I read the text messages between Simone and I said, you indeed are fill in the blank this woman's name. Because the reality of what I thought I would become has started. I said, you are. Because she always felt deflated. Like, how would it be possible to fit that? Even before we knew it was romance, when she asked the question, I thought she was just my homegirl talking. And she, the love that happened in that text message, when I said, you are that. And she was blown. Like she said, for the first time, I think I got what you were saying then, 23 years ago. So June, we meet at the thing. The next week, boom, we go out. It's not really a date, but in my brain, I'm like, I think I like Simone. Boom. October, I said, will you be my girlfriend, woman friend?
Woman friend.
December, I asked her to marry me. June, October, December. August, we get married. Full stop. End of the story.
I'm sorry. In December, so it was 8 months between December and that you was like, yep, can we?
I didn't have, it was fast forward. I was in the advanced class because it's my girl. I've seen her in every one of her important relationships. I've talked her off the ledge over one in particular, the dude I didn't even really like, but the way she was talking, I was just like, yeah, you got to chill. Like, and next thing, it's my friend. So I don't have, what is it to wait for? What do I need to see?
Here's what's so deep about what you're saying, D. For so many of us, and for anybody that may be watching, you didn't establish relationship. You were so thirsty. And I don't mean disrespect when I'm saying this. You were so thirsty and desperate. And once again, I'm not being disrespectful, but you were so thirsty and desperate that rather than take the time, come on, anything worth having is worth building up something for. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And so because you didn't take the time to build it, you got into the relationship and then you realized that it's not what you thought it would be because you didn't go through the process. You didn't take the time to, and I'm tripping, D, because this is, for those of you who've never watched The Notebook, that movie is dope. This gives me Notebook vibes.
I've never watched it, but the same dude whose wife I was talking about used to preach about The Notebook.
Yes. That's crazy.
The man used to preach about The Notebook, bro.
That's crazy. When I tell you that this thing gives me Notebook vibes, you feel me? When I tell you that this
Now
gets,
I gotta go find the movie. I'm
you
gonna
gotta
check it
watch
out.
it. D, I promise you, you will not be sorry. You will see what happens when you take the time to build friendship. Right now, they do some stuff that's not necessarily in line with how we would do it, but
Okay,
you
yeah.
get the principle of what's happening. And so, for some of us, and I think this is so much more for those who want to be married one day. Do me a
Mhm.
favor. I can't stress it enough. Form friendship. You said something that was so deep. The reason why it was so short between December and August in terms of 8 months, because we had a friendship already, and I saw who you were.
What else I need to see?
I seen you in relationships. I seen you around your parents because y'all were already tight friends. I've seen you in challenging situations. I've seen you in difficult situations. I've pretty much seen you in every situation across the prism.
And I experienced her love when she tried to hook me up.
Oh, come on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there's no, what else is there to, everything that I've seen so far about you, I love. And now I've decided in my heart of hearts, if you'll have me as your husband, then I'll do life with you and not around you.
Yeah.
I want people to walk away with this one key if they don't walk away with anything else. Take time to observe who you're in relationship with. Even if you're married, take time to observe the person that you're in relationship with. And if you are already married and not experiencing the things that you want to experience, you can pray for the husband that you want.
Can I say something that's gonna throw you all the way off?
Oh, come on, let's
Like,
get it.
just don't tangent it, because we the time, but I want you to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So the brother that Simone almost married,
Yeah.
his room was next to mine in university.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed in the dorm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. Cool. When Simone and I did get married,
Mm-hmm.
the brother's dad was one of the officiants in our wedding.
I'm sorry. The dude that Simone was supposed to marry.
Yes, the one that when I said, and I won't say our brother's name, but call it Quest. His name is Quest today.
Yes.
When I told one of my homeboys that I was connected to a woman and I'm about to, get married,
Yes.
I said Simone. He said Quest girl? Because they looked alike. Basically, they were so much like that item. So it wasn't no question. Like, there was no discussion of, do you like a Simone? Like, there's no question. That's how tight they were. So, but our brother's daddy also was an officiant. There's only two: the dude that actually married us and that brother.
Unbelievable.
Pastor.
Unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable.
So what God hath joined. Can I just say that right there?
Let no man, including the two in the marriage, let no man.
That's all I got to say on that one, bro. That's just too much for me. She was like, I know it'd be kind of weird. I was like, weird? I got confidence, man. I ain't thinking about no other dude. That means nothing to me.
That's crazy.
Absolutely nothing to me. Nothing negative. Like, I have no challenge with this because you said yes because you believed yes and I believed you. So we getting married. The rest of that is immaterial to me.
So it gives life to the statement that it would behoove you to not make lifelong decisions based on temporary circumstances. Jerome said, show over. You know what I'm saying? It would behoove you, and too many people, and this is the reason why information applied changes situations. Too many people have made lifelong decisions based on a temporary situation. You haven't even been friends long enough to understand this person's ins and outs.
Don't play with it.
Don't play. This takes time, and you need time to properly establish. Okay, I've watched when they build a house or when they build a subdivision, The first thing that I see is the pipe sticking out of the ground. That's the first thing that I see. Then they come back and lay the concrete. And I promise you, it's at least about 3 weeks, 3 to 4, almost a month before that concrete sets and they build the home. They want to make sure that that foundation is strong to withstand anything that comes in terms of rain, sleet, snow, all the elements that weather can produce. They want to make sure. Hence the reason why in Jamaica, because you guys are prone to hurricanes, why they build the homes with concrete cylinder blocks and not plywood.
Correct.
And I'm saying to you, if that be the case, when you are about to, oh, come on. Jerome said how long mama's dinner takes. You know when your mom's cooked that dinner. But just to remain on course, right? What happens when you're about to make this lifelong decision called marriage? It takes time to build relationship. It's funny because I'm talking to Zoe right now in terms of relationship, and she's in a little relationship now, and she's taking her time. She's spending time with him, spending time around his mother, watching the behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like watching what he says he's going to do versus what he says and doesn't do. All of those different things I'm bringing to the forefront for her to understand. Not so that she could just drop dude, but you can pay attention to all the different things. It takes time, D. It takes time, because if you'll do it in these little areas, the chances are great that you will do it in these major areas as well.
That is correct. Jerome said, show's over.
Yeah. I'm just going to let him know. From shaky to good. From good to great. Ultimately, we want phenomenal, but phenomenal don't just happen. It takes work. So do that. Work. And I'll see y'all on the flip side.
There you have it, y'all. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us. Marriage is about mutual love and mutual respect, and it works for those willing to make it work. Real talk, our spouses are treasured jewels given to us to make life better. And the sooner we learn to value one another will be the sooner we become the absolute best versions of ourselves we can be. Until next time, peace.